Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know your exams are just around the corner, but hey, tension nahi lene ka. Together, we are going to make this chapter, Control and Coordination, feel super simple. And if you find this helpful, please make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends so everyone can benefit.
All right, bachon, let's start with a little question. Have you ever, touched a hot pan, a garam tawa, and your hand just pulls back instantly? Like even before your brain goes, ouch, that's hot. How does our body react so incredibly fast? Let's uncover the secret behind this amazing superpower we all have.
Well, all this magic is thanks to our body's very own super fast internet, the nervous system. It sends messages even faster than a new dance step goes viral on Instagram. It really is the body's main communication network. Now, at the heart of this network is a very special cell called the neuron. Just think of it as the basic message carrier. And the messages it carries? They travel through it just like electricity zipping through a wire. Let's see exactly how that happens. So, how does this message actually travel? Okay, look at step 1. The signal is picked up by the dendrite, which acts like a little antenna. Then, as you can see in steps 2 and 3, the message is processed and zips down this long wire called the axon as an electrical impulse. Finally, right at the end, it gets passed on. It's like a super fast relay race, passing the message from one neuron to the next in just a fraction of a second. But here's a really fascinating twist. These neurons, they don't actually touch each other. Nope, there's a tiny gap between them called a synapse. So how does the message get across? Well, it cleverly converts from an electrical signal into a chemical one, releasing special messengers that literally jump the gap. This tiny chemical leap is what keeps the entire communication chain going. You know that quick reaction to the hot tawa we talked about? That's called a reflex action. It's totally automatic, kind of like your body's emergency brakes. I mean, if you had to stop and think about it, it would be way too slow, and you'd get a nasty burn. This lightning-fast reaction happens because of a special shortcut called a reflex arc. Just follow the arrows on the diagram with me. The hot signal travels from your hand, goes directly to the spinal cord, and the command to pull away is sent straight back to the muscles. See? It completely bypasses the brain, saving those precious milliseconds. So, to put it simply, a reflex is an automatic, involuntary action that's controlled by the spinal cord. But actions like walking, or writing, or picking up a book, those are voluntary actions. You choose to do them, and they are controlled by the brain. Samajh aa gaya na? Good. Okay, let's move on and meet the main control center of our body, the big boss itself, our amazing brain. This is where all the really complex thinking and decision-making happens. Now, our brain is so important, it's safely protected inside the hard skull. And it's not just one single part, it's divided into 3 main regions. You have the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. Each of these sections has its own set of very important jobs. The forebrain, which is the largest part, is basically your thinking cap. It handles memory, intelligence, and it processes everything you see and smell. The midbrain and hindbrain are more like the autopilot, controlling all the involuntary things you don't even think about, like your heartbeat and your breathing. And that smaller part at the back, the cerebellum, is the master of balance. It's thanks to this little guy that you can walk a straight line, ride a bicycle, or even catch a cricket ball without falling over. All right, so we get how animals with a nervous system react. But what about plants? They don't have a brain, they don't have nerve cells, so how does a plant know which way the sun is? Or how does it react when you touch it? It's a fantastic puzzle, so let's solve it together. Have you ever seen the chewy mooey plant, the touch-me-not? It literally closes its leaves the moment you touch it. Now, this isn't growth, it's a super quick movement that happens because the plant rapidly changes the amount of water in the cells of its leaves. So cool, right? And here is another amazing plant movement called phototropism. You've definitely seen this. A plant that's kept near a window will always bend towards the sunlight. The magic behind this is a plant hormone called auxin. It gathers on the shady side of the stem, which makes those cells grow a little bit longer and causes the whole plant to lean into the light. Clever! Now, besides this super fast nervous system, our body has another, slower system. This one uses chemical messengers called hormones. You can think of the nervous system like a super fast email, and the hormonal system, well, it's more like India Post. A little slower for sure, but its messages reach every single part of the body. These chemical messengers, the hormones, are made by special endocrine glands. These glands release the hormones directly into our blood, and the blood then carries them all over the body. This diagram here shows you where the major glands, like the thyroid and pituitary, are located. Okay, bachon, please pay very, very close attention here. This table is extremely important for your exams. I can almost guarantee a question will come from this. It lists the key hormones, their glands, and what they do. Just remember, for example, that insulin from the pancreas controls blood sugar, not enough of it causes diabetes, and thyroxin from the thyroid needs iodine. Without it, it leads to a disease called goiter. And now for the part that's going to help you score full marks. Let's practice a couple of the most frequently asked questions from this chapter, just to make sure you've understood everything perfectly. Ready? Let's go! First question, what is the difference between a reflex action and walking? We actually covered this just a few minutes ago. Why don't you pause for a moment and try to list the main points in your head before I show you the answer? Go on, try it. Okay, here is the perfect way to structure your answer to get full marks. Point 1, a reflex action is involuntary, but walking is a voluntary choice. Point 2, reflex actions are controlled by the spinal cord for speed. And point 3, walking is a deliberate action controlled by the brain. You write these points and you are all set. Here is another very, very common and important question. Why do doctors, and why do all the salt packets, say that we should use iodized salt? What's the science behind it? The science behind it is actually quite simple. Our thyroid gland needs iodine to produce a very important hormone called thyroxin. Thyroxin is the hormone responsible for controlling our body's growth and metabolism. Now, if we don't get enough iodine, the thyroid gland can't do its job properly and it starts to swell up, causing a condition called goiter, which you can often see as a swelling in the neck. So, if we had to summarize this entire chapter, it's really all about this incredible teamwork. Our body has two amazing control systems: the super-fast electrical network, our nervous system, for all the emergencies, and the slower, steady chemical network, our hormonal system, for long-term things like growth and regulation. Just take a moment and think about it. Every single thing you do, from just blinking your eyes to scoring the winning run in a cricket match, is all because of this perfect coordination. It's absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? Let me know what you found most interesting in the comments below. All the very best for your exams, but study well, stay calm, and I know you will do wonderfully.